Hello, everyone. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the Two Dads edition.
Wait, that's not it.
Start again.
Two Dads, Gen X edition. That's a great beginning.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode.
Oh, yeah. Why are you wearing a cup shirt?
I'm excited, man. They won the wild card, and so they're moving on.
You know why they won the wild card?
Because they scored more runs.
No, because they're not good enough to not have to have the wild card.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Where's that a boo?
No, I'm a Mets fan, and they haven't been that bad the last couple of years, but they suck.
The Mets were the bane.
The bane
in 2015. It was so nice to see the Royals beat them.
So I'm a Mets fan primarily because I grew up in New York, and my dad would get tickets to Shea Stadium, and so I'd go to Mets games.
Nice.
So now I'm a Mets fan.
So, what was your favorite pastime with baseball?
My favorite pastime with baseball?
Yeah, like what
baseball was my favorite pastime.
Like what's like your favorite thing about baseball? Like when you go to a stadium.
So when I was a kid, I actually not that I was all great and everything, but like that. But I was a shortstop and a pitcher, and that kind of thing. And there was a game that I played one time, like in Little League, and there was somebody else pitching. I was playing shortstop. Guy hit the ball and it came right at me, and I just went like this, and I snagged it with the edge of my glove, got him out. It's like, good job.
Mine was
like, I can go pro right now.
Well, I played first, but I'm a righty. And so I was a little off the base more than normal. And I remember a ball got hit right on, and I went to go up, and my glove fell off, went off. Yeah. And so I actually caught it with my bare hand and then tagged the base to get the guy on first to second. And coach is like, good play. Don't ever fucking do that again. And it hurt, man. I bet. Damn, that really hurt.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'd play like stickball and stuff in the yard and in the street and stuff. I mean, I wasn't like down in New York City, so it's not like in the alley, but we'd be in the street.
Yeah, but what is your favorite when you go to a baseball stadium? What do you love?
The hot dogs.
The hot dogs.
There's nothing like it. Well, and probably because it's New York City too, and so it's like. I mean, like you go to New York City, and if you don't try a hot dog from a hot dog vendor, you're not experiencing New York City. True. Same thing with pizza. If you don't get a New York pizza, not New York style pizza, it is different. Everywhere is different. Boston's pretty good,
Well, Chicago,
Philadelphia's pretty good, but it's different. No, that's not pizza. That's a lasagna.
I mean, there's one, man.
But the pizza is supposed to, you fold it to eat it, which means the crust has to be just right. And there's just something about a New York pizza. Yeah.
Well, the Chicago style deep dish, I mean, I love it because it's like you get your table, you put your name in for the table, and you order your pizza. Because by the time you get a table, your pizza's ready. Because it takes like 45 minutes to cook that pizza. And Anthony,
that's the problem with it.
Anthony's here was freaking awesome. It was like, it was like 9 layers. So
that's
good.
A lasagna. That's not a pizza. A pizza is supposed to be a fast, efficient, you shove calories in while you're on the go. That's what a pizza is.
Who says?
Me. I say.
You're the authoritative figure of pizza in the world?
There is no good pizza in Kansas City.
That's not true.
No, it's very true. I mean, there's decent pizza. There's no good pizza in Kansas City.
I mean, I like Fat Sully's and...
There is no good pizza in Kansas City. I don't know if it's the air or the humidity or just the laid-back atmosphere of the Midwest, but it is just not the same.
Hey, all you pizza joints in Kansas City, please don't hate us.
You know what? Challenge me. Give me pizzas to try, and I'll tell you if it's.
We're gonna make that an episode. We're gonna have a whole episode. We're gonna spend.
Oh, sorry.
What the hell is that?
So that I have to eat. That's for the diet I've been on.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, you look amazing.
Oh, thanks, dude. I don't swing that way, but thank you.
How much weight have you actually lost?
As of this morning, I've lost 124 pounds.
God damn.
Since February, the end of February.
Do we have it like a before and after?
I mean, the after is from like 2 months ago, so I was still like 240-ish. So I lost about 100 pounds.
So you're gonna take another one so we can show everybody.
Or we could use that one.
No, we need now. We need like now.
I mean, we could probably do that. Yeah. Maybe throw it on the during the episode or something like that.
You know, it's like, seriously, it's like we definitely need to show it. I mean, it's just so. Okay, you know, screw baseball. Let's just switch to this because this is actually kind of interesting. Because I know you've struggled with weight loss. I've struggled with weight loss. Mm-hmm. For me, when I broke my leg when I was 12, it was really hard after that because, you know, I was pretty fit, played sports, broke my leg, but then it was a spiral fracture. They didn't do surgery, so I was basically in bed for a year. And then my friends were running around after church in a wheelchair, and they messed up, and my foot slammed in and actually refractured it.
Oh, no.
So it took longer. So I gained all this weight, and it was really hard because for me when I was younger, it's just I gained the weight. My girlfriend at the time, when she saw me when I came back, I think I gained like 80 pounds. Mm-hmm. And she's like, ooh, yeah, I think I want to break up.
Because you gained weight.
Yeah, and that was like
what a wonderful
huge gut punch.
Yeah.
You know what? Just started wearing baggier clothes.
Oh, dude.
Started getting made fun of a lot.
I was buying 4X stuff. Like shirts, 4X.
You're like a football player.
I was not a football player. I was just fat. I was just big. You know, and like with my kids, I've always told them, you know, it's not about your weight, it's about your health. But for me, it was like, I got... First, it was like the sympathy weight because when my first wife would have kids, you know, she'd be hungry, she'd want to eat again. All this, not like blaming her, but I would also eat. And of course, when you're having your fourth meal and second dessert, and you're not exercising, it adds up, right? But then, like, so I lost weight for the military, but then got hurt in Iraq, and when I came back and you know couldn't recover from everything and started having surgeries and stuff like that, it's like I was eating like I was still working out all the time. And I was not exercising all the time, and so it started piling on.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of like bows down because like as a kid and as an adult, because I was the same way. Like I gained that sympathy weight, you know, gained I think 40 pounds, you know, with her, and then you know things in the bedroom kind of trailed off to nothingness. And
don't know what that's like.
So then it was like one of those things where, is it because I'm fat? You know, a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of self-deprecation. And I see my patients that are overweight. There is a lot of emotional turmoil.
Yeah,
turmoil, sorry.
You got it. English is a thing.
To that, because you do. I mean, I had one lady that she spent thousands of dollars a month. You know, she's like 390, maybe 400 pounds. But she spent money to have people come clean her, keep her fresh, because she didn't want to have the typical fat, musty, you know, smell that's hard to clean in those areas and stuff. And, you know, she's like, I don't want people to shame me, fat shame me and stuff like that. And now we have classes that, you know, try to educate people that are more fit to like, hey, don't judge. You don't know if it's cancer. You don't know if it's a hormone disability. You don't know if it's a thyroid issue, a pituitary issue. And
but then people also sometimes use those as excuses not to.
Some do, some don't.
Some do, yeah.
And I find that there are generally people that just were taught wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And so really, when you think about it, like, what were your original motivations to lose weight? Because I think that's the biggest thing people struggle with is the motivation and why they should do it, and then how to do it.
So I've had like 4 kind of like periods where I've had the motivation to lose weight after having gained weight, right? So as a kid, I mean, I was running around all the time and riding bikes and playing sports, and so I was just skinny. But the first time was to join the military, so I'd gotten to like 260 or something like that. So I needed to lose like 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Because they had the height and weight standard.
Yeah.
And so the second time, though, was during the first divorce. And I've mentioned it in a previous episode before where it was like she had made a comment one time before she asked for the divorce. You know, we just built a house. I'd just gotten out. And she was like doing her makeup or her hair or something like that. I got out of the shower and was drying off. She's like, you know, it's really sad that, and it's not verbatim, but really sad that somebody that looks like me has to be married to somebody that looks like you. Yeah. And so when she asked for the divorce and she was out dating these guys, like she dated this model guy in Georgia or something like that, I was like, fine, I'll show you what you're missing. You know, so I lost a bunch of weight. She didn't care.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of had the same motivation originally because, you know, because she did gain the weight and everything. And intimacy was gone, like 100% gone.
Yeah.
Because of that self-deprecation and the sadness and loneliness I had in a marriage just sucks.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And, if you go back to the body shaming episode, which is a great episode, please check it out.
Check them all out, but yeah, that one too.
A lot of people don't realize, especially women, how much they do body shame their husbands and how little weight gain they can gain. And they start demoralizing them and putting them down. And so that's what kind of happened to me. I'm like, why are we intimate? Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't that? And then finally, I think out of frustration and anger, she's like, if you weren't so fat, maybe I'd enjoy it more.
Right.
So my motivation at that time was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose the weight, and it's not me, it's you, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was good. And what's great is after you start getting in that habit of working out, you do feel good. You do feel motivated. You do. But just like getting into that desire to do that is rough and hard. And
the motivation's kind of the important thing. So like the last time that I tried to lose weight is, I've had like 8 or 9 surgeries over the last like 12 years, 15 years or so.
Not weight loss surgeries.
Not weight loss. No, just like back surgery, shoulder surgeries. I've got screws in my body, stuff like that. And so it's like my body hurts all the time. I'm always in pain. There's never a day that I'm not in pain. And so, they say heavier weight, the weight on the body can make the pain worse, like in the joints. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll get back to a healthy weight and see if that helps with the body pain. And so I lost, 70, 80 pounds, got down to, pretty healthy weight. Pain was exactly the way it was before. So it didn't do anything. And that became demotivating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I was hoping for this, at least some relief, there wasn't any. And so it's like, well, screw it. I mean, I'm going to enjoy food then. Cause I wasn't like, there's ways to lose weight that are good, that are not easy, but they're not like super hard. Like I've done like the HGH thing where it's like you eat 500 calories a day and you take human growth hormone, and it's like, and it works, but it's very, very temporary. Yeah. And then I've done other ones where it's like, it's a fad diet. I mean, there's like the, intermittent fasting, all that kind of stuff, but it's like, they do work. Yeah. But they're hard to maintain, and that it's not a sustainable thing long term. And so my motivation this time has been. I
think it is. It's just you have to have.
It can be, but it's usually not for
because people don't actually make it their lifestyle change. It's a temporary change, and I think that's the struggle that a lot of people have, and the actual motivation. Was it your true motivation? So like us, we originally lost that weight because of hate and
outside
anger.
Reasons, yeah.
Not for ourselves. We're now, I'm trying to eat healthier, eat cleaner, get a lot of this processed shit out of my diet. Don't ever drink soda unless it's a mixed drink, kind of thing.
Honestly, drinking.
Oh, I know that's one of my struggles. So. We'll get there, and.
But yeah, sorry, keep going.
And so it is kind of one of those things like, I feel like now, I mean, from my point of view with you, and you can actually see on our website a picture of us.
Yeah, in the beginning when
you're
we first
almost
started.
Unrecognizable because you have lost 100 and something pounds, and I'm like, holy crap. And that like it semi motivates me. It's like, man, I want to be healthier. I want to do right. But what sucks is when you're like, I've spent almost about $4,000 doing this. It's like, I don't have that kind of thing.
Well, and we'll get into like because there's a program that I'm on. I can't really say the name of the program, but I can describe what I'm doing. But the motivation this time has been, I can't believe I got to where I got to. I hit 350 pounds. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. I've got grandkids now. My kids are all grown. They're all, getting married and they're starting families and all this stuff. And it's like, I want to be around. I want to be healthy. I want to enjoy my grandkids. I mean, I've got limits because of the surgeries and the injuries and the pain and stuff like that. But I don't want it to be that I'm adding more of the limitation. And I want to be around for a long time. I want to watch my grandkids grow. I want to see my kids become the parents that I believe they can be and that they are going to become and be a part of their lives. And if I'm 350, 400 pounds, that just shortens it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the motivation now. And so this time that I've been losing weight, the mindset's been totally different. It hasn't been any other exterior motivation besides I want to get healthy. I want to have a good, healthy life. I'm not focused on the weight, right? Because that's just a number. Yeah. I'm focused on the overall health, me feeling better. And now, like my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter, who's in college, I went and visited a couple weeks ago, and she has no memory of me being this weight because I'm about 225 pounds now. She's never seen me this way. This is my pre-deployment weight. When I got out of basic training in AIT, I was about 220, 230, but she was like a year old. She doesn't remember. When I got back from Iraq, I was about 230, 240. Still pretty fit and strong and, all that, but she's never seen me like this.
Yeah, I mean, as the thing is, I remember you from like high school. Looking like this.
Well, and I was skinny in high school. I was still 200 pounds.
Yeah.
6'2", 200 pounds, and
Well, and that's, we talk about, what you're talking about with like the motivation, and that's kind of where I am with eating cleaner, not doing false sugars, limiting corn because corn is not meant for our bodies.
Right.
And natural fruits. So like Sid and I have been doing these shots, custom made shots with fruits and vegetables that are designed for like detox, energy.
Right.
And I switched to mushroom coffee instead of actual coffee, so I don't have the caffeine dependency, which now I'm always awake.
As I drink my Monster.
And everybody's like, how are you so energetic in the morning? I'm like, well, it's just one, I'm a natural morning person, and two, I just got rid of the caffeine, so I don't have the crash anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to have this stable feeling. And now I'll tell you right now, it's worked eating cleaner, because now if I eat I haven't had McDonald's in, I don't know, like 2 years. But like if I eat any fast food or fried foods, like wings, if I have wings, if I don't make them in the air fryer, if I go to like B-Dubs or Wingstop or something like that, I feel like crap. An hour later because of that oil, the seed oils, and it's just like there's so much truth to that, and the struggles that a lot of my clients I keep saying clients, patients have, they really do struggle with eating healthy, and we see in poverty environments that there's the food deserts. That's a real thing where there's only processed foods, fat foods, unhealthy foods, because that's all they know, and it is a mental learning thing. So when you teach your kids to eat junk food all the time, they're going to eat junk food all the time,
right,
their whole life, and that weight gain is just hard, and it's the physical struggle that we have, and to kind of break those habits and stuff. My patients, they're having all these struggles. So what do you find is your personal struggle to, one, keep the weight off, to work out, eat right?
So complacency. I think, most of us are inherently lazy. We like to rest. We like to relax, especially since we doom scroll social media, watch TV, movies, things like that. It's easy to just keep eating. I mean, one of the habits that I developed in the military was whenever we would do a guard shift, like when we're out on a regular base, not like deployed, but you have to be up for 24 hours. Yeah. And if they catch you sleeping,
it's you. Yeah.
And so you have a couple of, energy drinks, and you have a bunch of candy and snacks and, food that you're going to eat too, because you just are keeping yourself busy and staying awake. And I would get junk food like crazy. Yeah. And so you build these habits that that perpetuate the problem. And then when we get bigger and we start having things like, spouses are critical, or, people aren't attracted to us, or we're just feeling, our health, then we start getting depressed.
Yep.
And when we start getting depressed, it kills our motivation even more. And we start getting into this mindset where it's like, we don't, we'd love to lose weight. We'd love to exercise. We'd love to feel better. We just don't feel like it's possible anymore. And that's where that complacency comes in, where it's like, well, I'm I used to do this thing where I'd pinch the side, and as long as I didn't feel like I was pinching that much, I'm still okay.
Yeah.
As weight keeps piling on,
Yeah.
And and so it's, and then having people around us that support or don't support healthy living too. So if like you said, If people grow up eating junk food all the time and that's just their norm, then that's just their norm. And so having people in your life that are also depressed, also, complacent, also just sit around and do nothing, and all they do is eat, and they're bigger too, you're going to become who you are, who you hang out with.
Yeah. And then that's honestly huge activity in general. Like a lot of people don't realize, Jared, when he lost all that weight with going to Subway, the Subway wasn't what lost his weight. It was the walking there and back.
Wasn't it like 7 miles round trip or something like that?
I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But he was getting his 10,000 steps, and people think, oh, if I get my 10,000 steps, I'll lose weight. No, the 10,000 steps, the 10 flights of stairs, being active for 30 minutes, those are basic guidelines to maintain weight.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. So, like, what I do is I always try to use the stairs at work. I always park far away in the parking lot. The small things that help me get those 10,000 steps. And I think I got more as a respiratory therapist, but as a nurse, I think now I average maybe 5 or 6 if I'm lucky, depending on what unit I'm on.
Right.
But I'm finding that the motivation is not the motivation, the mindset of having someone with you. When you're by yourself, you control a lot. You control everything kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you're not by yourself, you're trying to combine that life with a partner or somebody. And you do want to find someone that wants to be healthy, wants to eat clean, that doesn't eat junk food all the time. Because studies have shown, so many studies that I've read, unlike when I was trying to figure out how to lose weight, why I haven't lost weight. I mean, I've done P90X 3 times. I swear to God, I'm the only person that didn't lose weight. But
You're not the only one.
But when I did do it, when I lost the weight, back when I was married, it was because I was doing 2 exercises a day. I'd stopped drinking. I was literally go. I think I was averaging 20,000 steps a day, working out for an hour. And those gym rats, the people that are in the gym all the time, that's their job.
That basically is.
Or
their identity.
And so what I struggle with is working a 13-hour shift, still getting my 8 hours of sleep, which I don't get. I usually get 4. So my issue is sleep deprivation, not eating enough because I
not eating healthy enough.
The healthy part, like I've actually done pretty good
recently,
at that,
right? But like before.
No, even now. I mean, I've always even with that back then. That's one thing I'm really proud of is I did make a lifestyle changes almost 15 years ago, and I got down to 220, and then I've stalled, and so my struggle is time.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Which it's like, okay, I lose sleep or I lose, what, and it really is just getting into it. Like once I get into it and I make it a priority, then I'm good. But then it becomes, okay, I'm sacrificing this and that and that. So, I don't get many hours to just lay around and do nothing.
Right.
Now, if I had a gym at work that I could, cool, instead of 30-minute lunch, I could run downstairs and work out for 30 minutes. I'd totally freaking do that. There's some people that do that.
And that speaks to the it's got to be something that's sustainable. Everybody's personality is different. So it's got to work for us, right?
Yeah.
I can't do that HGH diet where it's 500 calories. It's just, I enjoy food.
Threw myself into ketosis, almost in the hospital.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And so it's like, it's got to be sustainable. So like the program that I'm on now is I eat 6 times a day. I choose the foods through the company, but I choose foods that fit my lifestyle and what I like. So it's like a lot of the foods are sweet. They're it's like a treat.
Yeah.
But it's part of the diet. And then the meal I make one meal myself where it's like, it's basically like 6 ounces of protein and a cup and a half of vegetables, some healthy fats, things like that. But I flavor my food.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm using like a clove and a half or 2 cloves of garlic and a bunch of chives and parsley and salt, pepper. I mean, just all kinds of stuff in it because I love food. I love the flavor and, but it's all healthy. So I saute a ton of vegetables in healthy fats with lots of flavor, chicken breast typically, sometimes steak, and it's working. But then the other part of it is like the lifestyle has to be sustainable too.
Yeah.
Because like I go and work out. I lost 90 pounds before I started going to the gym. And I have a sedentary job. I sit and talk to people all day. Kind of like the podcast.
Yeah.
But this is what I do all day. And so it's like I don't have an active lifestyle as far as my work goes. So as far as steps go, I might get 100. But like, so I go to the gym in the morning. I like to sleep in too, but I want to be healthy. And so, we have the time. It's just where are we going to sacrifice it so we can make the time for the things that are healthier for us. But I only go to the gym 4 days a week. It's not, I don't go 6-7 days a week like some people. My workouts, I got a trainer just to help because I have my injuries and stuff. But my workouts are a half hour, 30, 40 minutes at the most.
Well, and that's why I really liked P90X3 because like I love P90X2, but you're spending 20 minutes in just the warm up and then 20 minutes on the closing. And then the main workout was 30 minutes and sometimes only 20 minutes. And I'm like, man, I wish they had a program where it was just the workout.
Yeah.
And then I could stretch and whatever afterwards if I need to. And then P90X3 came out and I loved it and it maintained my weight.
Yeah.
But I couldn't lose weight on it. I got stronger and physically more fit based on that.
Right.
And the hardest thing I think losing weight is not seeing results right away. I think we're a society of now. And the sad thing is you're starting to see people go on these Ozempic and Zyprexa and these shots that just alter your hormones and a bunch of other things that don't get me started on there.
Right.
And that's not natural. It's not naturally a way to lose the weight.
I actually kind of looked into them a little bit, but I hesitate just because it's like that's a shortcut. I look at it as a shortcut. And it works there are some people who they have great benefits from it. That's great. I worry about the long term because it hasn't been around long enough for us to do a longitudinal study to find out what is the actual long-term effect. Like Fen-Phen back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Fen-Phen was a pill. People could just pop the pill. They were losing weight. They could eat what they wanted, and it was great.
Yeah. Destroying their heart, destroying their kidney.
Well, so I have a brother-in-law who's a doctor who when I talked to him about this years ago, and he said that like the prescribed use of Fen-Phen was only supposed to be like 2 or 3 months. It was an aid to get you started so you could see the weight loss, so you'd be motivated to keep going. But it worked so well, and there weren't any known side effects yet. Yeah. That doctors were kept prescribing it, and then people were getting these heart valve issues, which is why it got pulled off the shelf, because they were on it for 1.5 years, 2.5 years. And that's what I worry about with the injections too. That's what I worry about with some of these like huge harsh diets where it's like.
Well, we're starting to see patients that had. I was telling our producer about this doctor in Germany that he started tracking, his healthy patients. They had basic things like high cholesterol, some heart issues, but nothing, no cancer, no hormone or imbalances, anything like that. And he said within a couple months, he had patients that were developing breast cancer, colon cancer, rectal cancer, or colon cancer, prostate cancer.
I've heard thyroid cancer.
Thyroid is a big one because you have to be very informed when you do it. Yeah. Research.
Know what you're getting into before you do it.
And really, like with me, with my struggles, medication. Like I know something's not right with my hormones. Like my testosterone test was 7. I was like, and I'm serious. It literally was 7. But the risk of taking testosterone unnaturally, you have a huge increase in prostate cancer, kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like, just to get more.
Yeah, so I checked my hormones before I started losing the weight and doing all my blood work and stuff. And I did my blood work a couple of months ago. Everything is improved. But I had actually been suggested like TRT. But I wanted to see if the diet and the exercise would help things first. I didn't want to just jump in because it was the latest thing, and whenever there's the latest thing, everybody promotes all the positive stuff.
The pharmaceuticals promote.
Yeah.
The pharmaceuticals.
We can go into those conspiracy theories at some point. But I, for me personally, and this is just me personally, I hesitate to jump on any kind of bandwagon because there's a lot that we don't know, and I don't want to just jump in. And so, the traditional diet and exercise is consistently always going to be something that works when people do it right. Now, there's variations to that can be tailored to the individual, to their blood type, to their hormones, to their age, their gender, their whatever. But diet and exercise is like one of the most consistent things that promote things. If you're trying to build muscle, you don't eat 5 or 1,500 calories a day and then think you're going to look like The Rock.
You won't. Yeah.
No. I mean, The Rock eats like 8,000 calories a day. Michael Phelps was like 8,000, 10,000 calories when he was training because you have to fuel your body.
It's 25.
25 what?
1,000.
1,000.
It was so much.
Wow.
Something that it might
But
be
yeah,
very
and so it's like get informed. It's not just about like.
And I think the biggest problem is the word diet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it isn't dieting. Like, you don't need to diet. You just need to eat healthier and cleaner.
Yeah. Well, it's the way we frame the word diet, right?
Yeah.
Diet just really is just talking about what we put into our body.
Yeah. Well, and I think
we all are on a diet. It's just not a healthy one.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and I think the problem is people want to do extreme. So when I started losing the weight, our bodies adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, the true evolution is we adapt to our environment and what we put in our body, and our bodies are very keen in doing this. And that's where you get your chronic illnesses kind of thing. And if you eat like shit as a kid and all through your 20s because you're poor, going through college and trying to survive, and you start making money and you can start eating more healthy and doing things, well, our bodies adjust. So with me, my liver was just producing a shit ton of bile because of all the fatty foods I was eating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't stop. It gets used to, okay, let's keep doing it. Let's produce it. And that's where you store all that bile in the gallbladder. Well, you stop eating fatty foods. It releases just what it needs to, but it holds the rest that the liver's producing. And that's where you had a lot of 30-year-olds develop gallbladder issues, gallstones, because they're starting eating better. And I always found it funny because I had a doctor, when I had my gallbladder taken out, he goes, oh, yeah, it's so common now. He goes, 30-year-olds, gallbladder issues, they start eating healthy. Really, they should eat like, really good, then something super fatty, so it just dumps all the bile. And I'm like, oh, I don't do that. But, and that made me change my lifestyle as well, because it's like, okay, I'm going to eat pizza, New York style pizza, fold it up and, be miserable, because I'll just shit myself for the next day. Mm-hmm. Then it'll regulate kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like pleasure because it's a really good New York pizza.
But it's like, I know the consequences of my body, and so I can adjust and adapt. And so it's like, okay, I'm craving pizza, which is actually one of the worst things you can eat. But it's just those struggles that people face, the lack of motivation, pain, depression. As we get older, we don't have as much hormone to do that, to maintain. And the workout for us does change. It's less cardio. It's more just build muscle, work on your core. And my patients that I have that are more overweight or older, it's amazing how they'll be slumped over, really struggling. And it's like, oh man, you gotta get to your core, and kind of stuff. And it's just, it's hard and to beat those things. And I think we have a society of so many people on antidepressants, which then increases weight gain.
Yep. Well, and so one of the things that I recognized for me was that I couldn't just jump into whatever thing was out there. I knew this was going to be my mindset was this was going to be a lifelong change. Yeah. It was a lifelong difference, which meant instead of like jumping into exercising and trying to get back to the weights that I used to be able to lift, when I was at my prime, no, I don't care if I don't have 245s on the bar and I'm benching, if I've got 25s on there, which I'm stronger than that, but it's like, I don't care what anybody else thinks, because when I would jump into the heavier weights, I would re-injure myself. Like one of my shoulder surgeries that I've had came because I pushed too hard, too fast. And so the mindset's been different this time, where I'm following the basically the regimen that the trainer has given me. He has a background in physical therapy, which is great. The diet is not a diet like a fad diet. It is literally a lifestyle change in the way that I'm eating. I have very little food in my house anymore because I only have the food that I eat. Yeah. Instead of all the junk food of like, well, if I get in the mood, I might want this, or if I get in the mood, I might want that. I've gotten rid of all that stuff. And when I go out to eat now, it follows along this new way of eating that I've known was the right way to eat this whole time. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, we know what we need to do.
Well, yeah, and when I worked nights, the big thing was, like you said, people eat, and the average nurse that gains weight when they work nights is just off the chart. Yeah, and luckily that was kind of in my phase of my life that I'm like, okay, I need to fix myself. So I really did a lot of research on what helps me have energy. And what's so funny is it's just drinking water. A glass of water every hour will keep you awake.
Yeah, because you got to go pee.
Well, it's just digest. It's like your stomach's churning water. And so when I do my 72-hour fast, you can have water the whole time in tea, green tea. And it's amazing how I literally will drink probably 2 gallons of water in a day. That's probably no exaggeration. I don't know. But if I start to get hungry, I just chug some water, and then it maintains for another 2 hours. Chug some more, maintain. Now,
I mean, it's during the fast cycle that you're in, but water is an essential thing because with having the injuries that I do, all the joints, all the the meniscus or the discs in the spine or the labrum in the shoulder, it's hydrated tissue.
Yeah.
So if you're dehydrated, that means that they're not as plump and
plumpy.
But you are more prone to getting injured. You're going to hurt more because you're dehydrated, and so drinking water is a big part of this change too, where I'm consistently drinking a lot of water. Also because I'm older, you don't get as much nutrition out of the foods naturally anymore. Yeah. Our bodies they change over time, so we're approaching 50, and so supplements too. I mean, I take I have the super greens, the powder stuff that tastes disgusting.
Yeah.
There's one that actually doesn't taste too bad that I get from Sam's Club, but I add that into my pre-workout when I go to the gym because I'm not eating enough vegetables to get all of the nutrition that my body actually needs, but I also don't want to just take a pill to supplement for it. I want as much natural sources for these things as possible.
Yeah, and that's why we shifted from, and this is basically like what tools are we using to make our bodies healthier. And so, like for you said, more water, actually focus on cleaner foods and supplements. Well, I do a lot of supplements, beet, garlic, all that stuff. So our goal now is with those shots, the fruit and vegetable shots, where we actually take the whole thing and blend it in so you're getting every possible nutrition. That, I mean, we just started it this week. I love it because it's like we're going to the city markets together. We're spending time together doing that.
Yeah.
We're spending time figuring out what kind of shots we want to try. How does that shot work for us? As we make it, we're adjusting the content. Like, ooh, yeah, this is kind of bitter. What can we add that has a natural sweetener to it?
Chocolate and sugar.
Not even that. Like, you can use natural fruits.
Apples.
Yeah.
Bananas.
And apples, a lot of it, and all 3 of them, I think. And then with my mushroom coffee, I've been adding the coconut powder, which is, really helps break down fat, and then just green tea powder to it.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of where I get my caffeine.
Because I like sweet stuff. But
in my gut, for anybody that has a hard time with gut,
is it helping?
I'll tell you, mud water is a great way to get your gut going because it has a lot of the mushrooms that you need in there. Turmeric is huge. I think turmeric should have everything in it. But adding those natural sweeteners, the coconut, I don't have to add sugar ever, which is nice.
I use monk fruit and zithritol.
Yeah, monk fruit.
Because it's 0 calorie. It's really sweet. I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio for sugar.
Yeah.
My sister actually made a dessert because she knew I was on the diet, and we were all meeting at my parents' house for dinner, and she was making a dessert. She was like, "Hey, what can you do? Can you do this? This is what I had an idea of." And I was like, it was like egg based, so it's like protein. It's like a meringue kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I just can't have the sugar." And so she got monk fruit and used the monk fruit. It tasted great.
Nice.
It was really good, and I was able to have dessert.
You're like, yay!
But it was very, very healthy, and it's like there are when you're using those supplements, when you're supplementing with healthy versions of what you like, and it's not that you can never have sugar. It's not that you can never have chocolate.
Because our brain needs sugar.
Yeah. Right, but it's about the moderation. It's about balancing things in life, and it's about doing the things that making sure that you're getting the nutrition that your body needs, so that when you do have that little bit of sugar here and there, it's not adding that much more. Your body processes it properly.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people don't realize like diet sodas, man, are so bad for you.
They really are.
And people don't understand. It's like the whole point of the false sugars our body sees it.
It thinks it's sugar.
Because it's sugar. I don't know how to use it, so I'm going to store it. So all that just goes to pure fat storage. 1 can of soda a day is guaranteed 5 pounds a year.
Interesting.
And it's like, holy crap. So, and I've known people that cut soda out of their diet and they lose 30 pounds.
Yep. I've met people like that too.
Yeah. Because your body's like, cool. And when they go back, it's like, oh, this is too sweet. This is too weird.
Well, like people that, they have like 4 or 5 beers every night, or they go out and drinking, with their dinner every single night. Just taking the alcohol out, not even like all the time, but just taking the alcohol down to like very, very little, that will make you lose weight.
Well, yeah, and I used to joke, it's like I eat 500 calories a day and I drink the rest. Well, and that was like one of the struggles for me at night, because I usually try not to eat after 8.
Yeah.
And you get tired, you're playing video games as 20-year-old kids, whatever, and you're like trying to stay awake. So what do? Your body's like, hey, I'm drowning, I need energy. And so you go and I've tried to get better at, okay, time to go to sleep. Just, you're tired, turn everything off, go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's one of the tools I've been using was go to fucking bed if you're tired. Stop trying to stay awake. You can watch the next episode later. You can do this later.
Right.
I mean, I don't even think I saw the Chiefs game because I was like, I'm too tired. I'm going to bed. It's like, I'm going to bed. If they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. This is what it is. But since I've been doing that, I've actually gotten better at going to sleep, getting more focused, and just going from there. And so I think really when you're looking at weight loss, the mindset, because like working out, I go to the gym, I'm not lifting heavier weights, and I'm like self-conscious. Are they judging me? I mean, the last time I was at the gym, it was actually kind of funny because there's a black guy following me. We were going down the aisle, and he was in front of me at first. We were using the same equipment, and he's like 150 pounds more than what I could do, and I'm like, I'm gonna try doing what he did, and I'm like, good, and I hear him laugh, and he goes, "Hey, buddy, let me turn that down to you." I'm like, "Man, I want to get to there. I used to be there." And he goes, "Who cares, man? Just do what's safe for you.
Exactly.
Don't try to compete because no one gives a shit what you're lifting here. No one cares." And he goes, "And if they do, they're a piece of shit."
Yeah, they're
get out of your head.
Gym bro, that's their identity and all that. And I don't. I mean, as much as I go to the gym, multiple times a week, it's like, and I like the way I'm starting to look. I'm starting to, not bulk up, but I'm starting to get defined again. I don't really care.
Well, and I was like, yeah, my problem is, I want to lift more. I just don't have someone to like spot me because like I'm
There's
the kind of person who's like, no, I don't.
There's the cable machines where it still isolates the muscles, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and that's part of the process too.
Yeah.
With all this whole thing is like, do some research, find out what is it that is going to work for you.
Yeah.
Right. If you like free weights, don't do the heavy shit. Because the heavy stuff isn't really going to, I mean, to max out periodically can be a good thing, but at the same time, you don't need to be doing that all the time. It's about moving. It's about causing the resistance so that the muscle builds, As the muscle builds, the body burns the calories more efficiently so that as you're eating, you're burning it off, and so it's a process that you have to find what fits for you. And our jobs, our lifestyles, the things that we like and don't like all become part of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that I found a program that works, and it works really, really well, but it's one that I can maintain, I can sustain. It's something that I actually like. If I didn't have something that I liked, I wouldn't stick with it. And that's part of that motivation where it's like you try and you're into it, get that dopamine hit of like, oh, right, I'm doing insanity, and it's, an hour and a half every morning, and I'm burning myself out. And then a month and a half later, we're like, shit.
I have to do this again. I hate this workout.
And then we stop, and then we go back to eating, And so
we skip it. We're like,
or we skip it.
Skip this
I'll be fine. I'll do it again tomorrow. I'll add another half hour tomorrow, or whatever. But that starts the process of really demotivating, depressing ourselves again.
Yeah.
And so it really becomes a process of finding what works for us, what fits our lifestyle that is actually going to work.
Yeah.
There are some core things that are universal. Hydration, getting decent sleep, eating healthy foods, clean foods. That's universal.
Yeah.
But the things that we add on top of that, you got to find what works for you.
Yeah, and if you're fighting, you're having a hard time getting motivated or finding the help that you need nutrition-wise, you can ask your doctor to talk to a nutritionist.
Absolutely.
They can help you with your body types. Getting your labs, checking your hormone levels are really important.
It's a really good way to do it. Go to the gym and ask the older guy that's fit working out.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You get these. I mean, the old guy's like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I get up at 5 every day." And that's one thing I noticed. If you get up the same time every day, your body will get to that point. You get the cortisol spike in the morning, and that's the best time to work out.
Yeah,
you get moving. Yeah. So I think the big thing is, like you said, is take the time to sit down and figure out what works for you with your time, your work schedule, your family schedule. Can you incorporate quality time with your spouse or your partner and your kids? Because studies have shown healthy families are healthier down the road. And so
long term.
I really want to thank you for diverting from the baseball talk to talking about your weight loss and how it's motivated me to I really need to get going.
If there's anybody that is interested in what I've done, comment on the video, send us an email, something like that, and I'll talk to you about the program that I've been doing. But really it's about doing your research, finding what works for you, and
because you're a coach now for that company, right?
I am, yeah. I just became, because there's a lot of people in the same boat where it's like we don't like being big. We want to get healthy, but it's also not one of these take this pill and do this exercise routine. It's just a lifestyle shift, and it's not a lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle shift so that you become healthier. And again, I didn't start working out until after I'd lost 90 pounds. And for men lose faster than women typically, but I started this program February 26th.
And you can tell because that's about when we started the podcast.
Yeah, it was right before that. So
we'll throw a before and after picture on there so you can see it. He'll have clothes on, don't worry.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll do this.
He's like, oh yeah, that one
absolutely
too.
Clothes on.
All right, well, hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Stay classy, Kansas City.